No, sorry. No, not. There we are.
Are we live? Yes, hello. Hey, everybody, what's going on? My name is Jamie Dean, and welcome to another top 10 list here on Sidescrollin. I'm back with Sam once again. How you doing, bud?
Hey, it's going on. Doing well.
And Dominic is back again. Dom, how you doing? Listen, I got to tell you, man, when you said you were going to get a Scott suit, I thought you were crazy, but now that I see your results, like, that's uncanny. That's $6,000 well spent, man.
$6,000? Wow.
Only.
Got all the deformities and everything. Like, that's unreal.
The chiseled good looks is what they are.
No, Scott's here standing in for Dominic tonight. Dominic's otherwise occupied. He's got better things to do than hang out with us losers. So Scott, who has
nothing better to do than hang out with these losers.
With us losers. Yeah. When Dominic couldn't make it, I was like, Sam, what are we going to do? And Sam was like, let's just set the bar real low. And I was like, I could get what do you want me to get the dog in? And he was like, no, lower. And I was like, I've got there's a snail in the backyard. I could bring low. And I was like, we could ask Scott. And he was like, perfect. Scott, welcome. Good to have you on, man. It's great.
Yeah. Thank you. I'm mildly insulted to be here.
So, fellas, tonight we're doing our top 10 best couch multiplayer games of all time. Now, this was, for me, an excruciatingly difficult list. I don't know about you guys. Not because I had trouble coming up with 10, but because I had trouble paring it down to 10. So I had to think about how, like, what am I picking, like, the 10 objectively best couch multiplayer games ever, or am I picking the 10 best couch multiplayer games you can play right now that I'd recommend you go and try?
It's the first one. You're wrong if it's anything else.
I did neither of those two things. My list tonight is going to be the top. It's a very personal one. This one, it's my top 10 best couch multiplayer games that are special to me. They're not necessarily ones I'd recommend you go and play. Some of them I wouldn't even necessarily say are all that great, but they're special to me for one reason or another over the years of doing a lot of couch multiplayer gaming, which has kind of been like, this is kind of my list. That's been my gaming upbringing, was all through the Nintendo 64 era. It was squarely focused on sitting on the couch with family and friends and bumping elbows and playing a game on the same screen together. A lot of people watching this have probably missed that era altogether. It's something of a dead genre these days. How'd you guys tackle this one?
So I decided to do what the list said it was, and pick the top 10 couch games. Look, the hardest thing for me wasn't necessarily paring it down. It was traveling far enough back in my memories to when games were couch co-op games predominantly. And it's not to say that there aren't ones now. Like, obviously, you got things like Plate Up, and I think still there's still like some of the recent Diablo games on Switch and stuff is still couch co-op, but they don't have the same memories because that's not how we play the game. So I've sort of got a very early gaming weighted list. I'm not sure there's anything past GameCube, but we'll see.
Oh wow! Okay, really?
PlayStation 2 is about the same time as GameCube. So
yeah, okay.
I mean,
so yours is more of a historical journey.
Well, I mean, you kind of got to do it to get to my top 10. So there's some pretty old games, which will be interesting to see.
Yeah, well, you are an old man. Okay, nice. How about you, Scotty? How'd you put this one together?
I didn't have as much trouble putting this list together as I did trying to sort out what went where. Okay. I went sort of all through the ages and indeed took some liberties with our list, as you guys will find out. But I did want to sort of make sure my list sort of encompassed all different types. So almost everything is in its own genre in this list.
Yep.
But I think they're all, some of them are, like yourself, special to me. But others, I think, are good for everyone to give a go. Yeah, you'll see. I'm a bit of a mixed bag, I hope.
Yeah,
we lost Jamie. That wasn't just me, right, Scott?
No, he's scrambled.
All right, so I think what Jamie was trying to say is that the key to a good list is to make sure it's in order.
Hello.
He's back. There we go.
Hello.
Sorry,
Hello.
I don't think they noticed Jamie.
No, that's all right.
I certainly didn't.
I was just saying that I did much the same as Scott. That
That's what I said.
like I try not to make a top 10 Nintendo 64 games list. Basically, I try to like pick and choose like some from other other consoles, other periods of time. You know, like. And none, it's not like I had to force myself to do that. Like I genuinely think these are my top 10, but I did, you know, I could have very easily done like a top 20 or 30 Nintendo 64 lists exclusively without even looking at all the others, you know. So I tried not to do that.
That's another video for another
That's
time.
another video. Yeah, exactly.
Top 30 or Nintendo. Yeah.
Yeah. Should we get into it?
Sure.
Let's do it. Number 10.
Oh shit! How do we do this again?
You press the 10, the one with the 10. That's the one. With the 1 and the 0. That's it. We didn't even decide an order. Do you want me to go first and then you, Sam, and then Scott? Would that
Sure.
Separate.
does that work all right? All
Yeah.
right, cool.
Yeah. Best for
All right.
last. Yeah.
Best for last. Right, my number 10. We're going to start with an oldie but a goodie. Probably the oldest. I think it is the
Already
oldest
started
game on my
featuring.
list. Yeah. Tell me about it. My number 10. We're going all the way back to the NES days. Do you think the NES is a console well known for couch multiplayer, or do you think it was mostly a single player console?
It was absolutely multiplayer.
Yeah?
I can't believe you asked that question.
Okay,
Are you
well,
pandering to our audience? That's
Jesus
ridiculous.
Christ. Okay.
Sorry,
Well,
I just want to defend our audience for a moment. You know, I had 2 controllers, right?
I always thought, yeah, it did, but I don't know. When I think of like couch multiplayer, the era kind of for me in my head starts from like the SNES onwards.
There's
you know,
some stuff here I'll show you later, and you'll understand.
yeah, I'll understand. You'll educate me. Well, here's one from the NES era anyway, and I think this is like also if we were doing like top 10 cover art, this would be on that list as well for me. My number
got one of
10
those too.
is Double Dragon 2, The Revenge. Oh man, did you guys play this? I assume.
Fucking bicycle kicks, my friend. Like, holy
Love it.
shit. Oh,
Yep.
immaculate.
So good.
And like, no, I'll let you. It's your.
Well, it came in like 2 distinct flavors, didn't it? There was like the friendly fire on and friendly fire off. Friendly fire on is the infinitely more difficult way to play this game.
Unless you're playing by yourself and you're just gonna harvest the life.
Oh, yeah.
Too.
True.
Was it game
Very
mode
true.
A and game mode B? Was it? Didn't
I think that was it. Yeah, A and B. Yeah.
Yeah.
There was no description of what one meant what. It was just choose one and see what happens, you know.
Heaven, hell.
And learn the hard way. But man, this is such a good little co-op game. I played the absolute shit out of this on the NES with our buddy Gary over the years. I don't think we ever came remotely close to finishing it. I think I've gotten a lot further in it, in a single run in my adult years than I ever did in repeated runs as a child. But it's just fun, man. All those side-scrolling brawlers, like this one, you could choose any of its kin. Final Fight or Streets of Rage or Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Like any of those, this is my pick for that genre because this is the one that I owned and this is the one that I loved to absolute bits and pieces. I played this before I played the others in the series too. So the others always got measured against this and they always came out unfavorably against it. This was my favorite one.
Double Dragon 1 was like, I played that in the arcades first.
Oh, yeah.
So that was like when you're getting $1 worth of chips at the chippy and you had to wait. It's like, oh, they got Double Dragon, let's play it. And like it was always that mythical, if you played 2-player and got to the end, you had to fight each other for the girl. Like that was the ending. Like Billy, Jimmy.
Was that
you gotta
legit
pick.
the ending?
Legit. At the end of
Legit.
Double Dragon 1, you have to
Oh
fight
my
each other
God.
for the girl.
Wow.
Hussy.
Did not know that.
Like she shouldn't be a prize. She should stand up for herself. But she said, and actually, one of my most recent favorite games has been River City Rampage. River City Girls,
River City Girls,
which is set in the same universe.
Yep.
And like River City Girls 2, which I still haven't got around to playing. I really, really want to though. I'm pretty sure you can play as Billy and Jimmy.
Nice. Yeah, River City Girls is very high on my to play list. I always am sort of eagle-eyed watching that one for it to go on sale.
Maybe
it never
I'll bring
does.
to Bunya's.
Oh yeah, I'd love to give it a crack. But yeah, this is still fun too. Like it's not something I sit there and play for hours anymore, but it's still fun to have a little bash. If you see it at an arcade or if you've got an NES Mini or an emulator or whatever. I still enjoy it. 2-player co-op. So yeah, that's my number 10. Double Dragon 2.
Who is next?
You, my friend.
Oh, all right. So, as much as I said shit about the NES and stuff, my number 10 pick, you got to be Secret of Mana.
Oh yeah.
Right? Like, I play lots of JRPGs, so I had to put one on the list. And I think Secret of Mana, it exists in that time when it was like, holy shit, a 3-player game? Are you telling me you can play with 3 players? I mean, I can't because I don't have the multi-tab. But theoretically, I could have been playing 3 players. Like, that's crazy. That's 50% more players than what I'm used to on a Super Nintendo. And it was actually a lot of fun. Like, the combat works well with multiplayer. Like, there's a little bit of the menu messing about and stuff. But it was a sort of thing where, at least if you're, like, I'm playing this great fantasy RPG, and if a friend drops by, like, here, you can be the girl or the sprite. I'm the hero, but you can help me. That's fine. And look, it was just such a unique concept at the time as well. Like, it wasn't like a Super Mario Brothers 1, back and forth multiplayer. It wasn't taking turns. It wasn't a beat 'em up, which was really common. So it was just really memorable.
Yep.
I thought it was great. So
I don't think you're going to get any pushback on that one. That's a classic.
And like, there's still a few games that kind of do it. So like the modern games that do it, a bit of, like the Tales games, they let other people take control of like the other characters. But,
I've never actually played Secret of Mana. I've only ever watched you play it. Have you played it, Scott?
I think I might have played it on emulator back when I was in high school, and I discovered them for the first time.
Oh yeah.
Because I played on emulator, I had no idea that this game was even multiplayer. I've never played an RPG that was multiplayer.
Yeah.
Oh really?
So yeah, that's an interesting little factoid I've learnt. But it is one I want to get. I want to own a original copy of it, not so much the remake that recently came out, or the remaster.
The box copy, and if you got like a proper box copy, it came with like this wonderful poster, and I actually liked it so much I got it laminated at the time. My grandma, I got her to take me to a shop that laminate, whatever those shops are called.
Oh yeah.
And they had to cut it a little bit to size, so like the Nintendo logo was cut in half, but that's the only way they could fit it, so I could put it on my wall, so it wouldn't disintegrate. But
Just you fool, Sam! Just destroying collectibles.
The amount of collectibles I've let go past. Where is it? This is the only one that's come back to me in all.
Hey,
what is it? I can't really read it.
That's Terranigma.
That's Terranigma OG.
And it is my cartridge that
his beloved
sold to one of my friends back in the
day. We told the story about this on another stream. The story is epic.
And she's not getting it back. She lent it to me. She'll not get it back. She'll never ask for it back. It's fine.
No, she don't want it.
Yeah,
that's what she gives you.
That's not the list, so I'll let that go.
All right, Scott. Wow,
mine.
Your
Yes.
debut number in a top 10 list on the Sidescrollin channel. This better be fucking amazing.
It is going to be amazing. It's actually, and you'll really appreciate this, James. It's kind of something that I actually have a significant love-hate relationship, and it's more on the hate side of things. Jamie? But I can't. Yep, it's playing games with Jamie. Can't go with Jamie. So I didn't. I sort of went for listing the series for one. So, and that is the Mario Party series.
Oh yes.
So it's
classic.
It's whichever Mario parties are awesome fun. Yeah, and it's just pick whichever one that spoke out to you. That was the most memorable for you, really. For me, I didn't get into Mario parties until the Switch.
I was going to say,
come on now.
I have Super Mario Party on there, but you're telling me that was your first one?
No. Super Mario Party was my first proper Mario Party.
Shit, that's the worst one.
You can't.
I actually argue it's the best one that I've played. I've played a few since then. I've played Mario Party Superstars. I've played all
the Switch ones, and it's the best one I've played.
I played the fucking Mario Party 10 a little bit. But I loved Super Mario Party because it gave us unique dice. It's boring as shit with just the standard D6 in the other games. It's just crap. But having unique dice for everyone, they had multiple modes. They even had a mode in Super Mario Party where instead of just following the spaces on the board, the whole board is gridded and you go where you want to go. It's that was just fantastic. And then when I got Mario Party Superstars, and it's just really the original trilogy of them. Just
I need to get that
with
game.
jazzy graphics.
Yep. Got to get Super.
I was very bored. The character selection is minuscule. There's nothing unique to picking one character over the other. The boards were cool, but there were only like fucking 3. So yeah, it was very lackluster. It felt like Superstars should have been a DLC to Super Mario Party. But yeah, I do want to play the rest of them. I've actually got a mission on my hands that I would like to own each one.
Sir, are in for a treat. Right, here's what you need. I wrote this on my game journal recently, that there's a secret to... there's 3 key ingredients to a good Mario Party session, right? Number 1 is a full count of players. You got to have a full count of players. No bots, no CPU, right? Second is good humors all round.
Because this is the type of game series that costs friends instead of stars.
And the third is alcohol. You put those 3 things together with Mario Party and you have yourself a fantastic evening.
I feel like 2 and 3 are working against each other.
A little bit. No, good pick, Scott. Even though you missed all the good ones.
You wouldn't even have the memory of that one mate that can go like real quick on a controller.
Oh, you're just grinding the 64 controller. You get a blister on your fucking palm.
I have my beloved Sylvia, who actually has played all of those back in the day, and I've heard the stories about how having to like get the palm on the thing, just burning a hole.
And how unfair, how blatantly unfair it was. Yep. Yeah, that's it. Still got the action. It was ridiculously unfair, those early games. Like, it was like, I'm winning all the way to the end, and then at the end, they're like, let's give out some bonus stars. Fucking here's some stars for everybody.
Man, it hasn't changed.
It's even worse now.
It has not changed.
Right?
Yeah. It has not changed. It is just, it's complete and utter random
now
nonsense.
That they give out the modern ones kind of make sense. The old ones, they made no fucking sense at all. It was just like total random.
More stars in the current ones, and some of them make sense, but they still give out ridiculous ones too.
Unreal. You got to go back and play those original ones. Good pick overall, though. Good pick. Let's go number 9.
Sure.
All right. So we're switching. We're taking just a sidestep in genres for me, for my number 9. Again, I was really surprised as I was putting together this list. This one just kept on crawling up and up and up the short list, because there was a little period of time there in my high school years where this game was absolutely fucking in vogue. Everybody loved it. Everyone was playing it. And it was, for this genre, a really, really accessible example of one of these games. My number 9 is Tekken Tag Tournament. Man, we played a lot of Tekken Tag Tournament in high school. This was sort of the game. Hey?
No Eddie.
No Eddie. No Eddie. True. It was, I think what was so good about this was, like I said, it was not, I mean, it's not Smash Brothers level of pick up and play, but it was not Street Fighter. It was not Mortal Kombat. It was not like 200 button, combos to be able to actually do anything. It was...
Play Tekken, do you?
I don't know how to play Tekken, but that's the thing. None of us did, right? Except for a couple of us. But it was all about that 3-dimensional sidestepping and just simple button combos so that you could actually compete. It kind of felt like you could go in with any of my friends or anyone who played it, and you could have, if the better person is going to win this game, no question. But it did feel like you had some sort of shot. Whereas if I was to play Street Fighter against yourself or Scott, it's basically a waste of your guys' time, right? It didn't feel
fair. It's probably the same if you play me in Tekken too.
Well, yeah, maybe, sure.
For Pretty good.
I didn't ever feel like that with this. And the fact that, you were picking the two fighters. We had, even though, again, PS2 and they had two controllers, we do little 2-on-2 matches where you'd have two teams of two people and you'd swap fighters and then quickly hand a controller to the other person and they'd go. We'd have little tournaments of this. It was great. Like, it was just
the
such
basic
a good...
rule was like winner stays, right? So like,
Yeah,
even if you've
winner
got like
stays
10
on.
people there, you just keep cycling through
Yeah.
players. And like,
Yeah, exactly right.
So.
Yep. Or win it, like if you did the teams of two, the team of two would stay on. I loved it. It was just such a good time. I kind of forgot about it until I started putting this list together. I was like, oh, Tekken Tag. I forgot all about that.
I'm sad because I played Tekken Tag 2. But
Yeah,
like,
okay.
It was a moment in time when people would be at each other's houses and you'd turn on the PlayStation 2 that made Tekken Tag really good.
Yes.
But, yeah, by the time Tekken Tag 2 came out, I think that was PlayStation 3.
Yeah.
It just wasn't the vibe anymore.
No, that's right. And I think I'm trying to think that whole tag mechanic, if it had been in many fighting games before this one.
Yeah.
Like where you pick
King of
two fighters.
Stuff.
Okay.
There'd been quite a few. And Marvel vs. Capcom and stuff.
Yeah. I know Marvel vs. Capcom, you sort of pick a team of three or something.
SNK vs. Takenoko. Yeah, there's been quite a few.
I hadn't played any of them, or I hadn't played a game where you picked two characters as your team.
It was rare
before.
on the systems, on the consoles. It wasn't. They're more like Dreamcast and stuff, which was rare for us, I think. So,
but yeah, just a great accessible. I found to be really accessible, quick, clean fighting game that was a lot of fun. Used up a lot of our high school time. Tekken Tag played a lot. Number 9.
Fantastic. All right. Well, my number 9. All right. My number 9 is, come on, it's just Mario.
Yeah, baby. There it is.
I'm sure this will be on the list more than once. Mario Kart 64. I think I defaulted to thinking Mario Kart Super Nintendo, but then it hit me like, no. It was 64.
It was
64. Mario Kart 64 that took it to the next level. And it would be like, if you were the first one in your group that knew the Wario Stadium skip.
Yeah.
Like, fuck you guys, man.
Just get it right at the time, over that bump,
I
over
don't
the
know what
wall.
it was about it. Like, look, I would have loved to have put Diddy Kong Racing here, but Diddy Kong Racing was just more about the story. I think Mario Kart 64 was just ripping around stupid places. Cooper Beach, it was iconic. I loved it. It was a lot of fun. And I think it was before people had developed a lot of skill in Mario Kart. Whereas I think these days there's more of a distance between your best mate at Mario Kart and your worst mate at Mario Kart.
Oh yeah. You go online and play Mario Kart, it's a whole fucking different
you
world.
Can't play games online, like
it's crazy.
I don't know what it is. Well, I do actually. It's matchmaking, right? In every game, the game is just forcing you to lose 50% of the time, and that's not fun. So I want to be better than my mate. I want to be playing Street Fighter.
I can't turn around and punch the person who's beating me repeatedly online.
Yeah. But yeah, Mario. Look, what can you say about Mario Kart?
Yeah. That's a winner. That's an absolute winner.
It's a dud.
I agree.
Dud.
That's a dud.
So far, I agree with your list, Sam, 100%.
Oh, Jamie, we will have a meeting of the minds through this list, don't you worry.
Yep, that's it. This will come together. Scott.
And
then there's Scott.
Yep.
All right, so we go from the Switch Mario Party.
Amongst the madness.
Mario Party.
What do you got for 9, Scott?
Number 9. Okay, this is a choose your own poison, really. So I just blanket term sort of put fighting games.
Oh, come on.
No,
Fighting games. Bear with me. This is whatever it is for you. For you, Jamie, it's Tekken Tag. But you know, it's whatever floats your boat as, you know, the viewers, whatever their fighting game choice poison was. For me, it came down to these two.
Oh, finally.
Oh, okay, we're narrowing. Okay, all right. I was going to say my number 8 is video
So depending on what day you catch me, I'll be all about Street Fighter, either the original Street Fighter 2 or Ultra Street Fighter 4.
I was just about to say, I can't believe this isn't Street Fighter 2.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Or Mortal Kombat 2 or the first remake of the original Mortal Kombat, depending on which day you catch me.
Okay.
That's a hell of a Romeo and Juliet to be torn between the families of Mortal Kombat and Street Fighter.
Which
So-
side of the
Usually
fence do you?
people have got a really clear opinion on which one's better.
If you, okay, here I'm going to give you Sophie's choice here, Scott. If you had to pick one of those two games, which one would you choose?
One of those two games to totally just, I can't touch the other.
Yeah, you can never touch the other one ever again. In fact, you have to eat it.
Oh yeah, when do you have to do me in like that, Jimmy? I'd pick to keep Mortal Kombat.
Oh, Sam, I'm guessing you're on the other side of the fence.
Oh,
yes.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Like
Street
fighting game.
Street Fighter is as much as I love almost the entire Street Fighter series from even the days of playing 1 on arcade to playing 2 for the first time on Super Nintendo through to 4. It ends with 4 for me. I hated Street Fighter 5. Street Fighter 6 I don't want to touch because of the bad taste of 5. And
6 is a very different game to 5.
It looked at, but I lost interest. 5 was just a total crap fest, and
With the
so,
shit
but
that Combat have put out, and you're.
but yeah, I'm not disagreeing. They've had their
game.
I'm not dis. I've had a few not so great ones,
Fair weather fan.
but no, Mortal Kombat. I'm not a fan of the last 3 of them. To be fair, the first Mortal Kombat remake is the last good one in my opinion. But I love the lore of Mortal Kombat.
It does have cool lore. I'll give you that.
Its lore is fantastic. I like, it's for a lot of games, the lore is like totally superfluous or arbitrary. It's not really. It's just we've got to somehow bring all these people from around the world together and make it make sense. But Mortal Kombat done it in a very unique and interesting way. All the characters have really rich lore and history, and that's part of what I love about them. Scorpion is, he's the poster boy. A lot of people love him, but he wouldn't be as popular if it wasn't for his
Scaly
lore.
Scorpion.
Grey Scorpion.
No, I'll pay that, Scott. I agree with you on that one. I do think Mortal Kombat has it's like a fucking death metal album cut of a made. It's
Sorry.
a cool story.
You've got the Dark Hado in Street Fighter.
I'm not saying Street Fighter's got a bad story. I'm just saying
And
Mortal
Bison
Kombat has a good one.
Fucking psycho power.
Yep.
It's not an if-then scenario.
It does.
It
And
is
a chin that could cut glass. But
Unless it was Guile.
Yes! Oh, man. All right, cool. I'm glad we narrowed it down
Chun-Li,
from
oh my God,
fighting games ever to an actual choice for your number. That's good. Well done. Let's get on the number 8. Sammy, save us.
I can keep going on.
He's done. All right, speaking of fighting games, Scott, how's these for you? My number 8 right here is the pinnacle. The pinnacle of fighting games right here, okay? The pinnacle of couch co-op fighting games. You want to talk about fighting games to play with your buddies, sitting on the couch together, bumping elbows and sharing obscenities? Here it is right here. My number 8 is WCW versus NWO on the Nintendo 64.
I forgot about the wrestling games.
Oh, these are so fucking good, man. These are so good. Holy shit, these were so much fun. Pick your
WCW for
flavor.
sure.
They're all sort of made by the same company mostly, and all based on the same engine. I think World Tour is the one I played the most of, but man, I love these games. They are just you still have I went and researched because I couldn't remember the name of it. I remember it was WCW versus NWO, and I couldn't remember the subtitle, right? So I went onto YouTube to try and find some footage of which games were they, so I can recognize which one I played. As soon as I clicked on the video and watched the match start and heard the match music, it was it's like it had been there this whole time, It was ingrained in my subconscious, and it just came straight out as soon as I heard it. It was unreal. Oh man, again, 4-player Royal Rumble, getting chairs out of the crowd, bats, throwing people out of the this was the bee's knees. This is
get a count out.
Yep. This is I'm trying to think. I feel like this was more fun than Smash Brothers. I really do. This was just an absolute. And I was never a big wrestling fan. Like when I was younger, I watched wrestling like way back in the early 90s and stuff, but it's not like I am a huge like fan of WWF or WCW and WO. I didn't watch any of those religiously. It was just, I don't know, it was just the grappling engine in the game and what you could do with it, and just smacking your buddies around and listening to the crowd go whoa, whoa on that repeated scream. It's just great. Anyway, a real fighting game. My number 8, WCW versus NWO. Pick your poison. Great 4-player fighting action on the 64.
64?
Oh, I'll tell you.
Stuff.
Yeah.
All right, so number 8 for me. This might be one of the more recent games. I'm really excited about this one, actually.
Ooh.
It has to be.
Here we go.
Dance.
Nice.
Mario.
Yes.
Ah. So there was a period in my life. I think
You
it was
loved
the
this shit.
Early 2000s. Rhythm games were just popping off. And one of our friends, G, he actually bought this and had it on GameCube. And this was still the time in life when I was living in a house full of other people. Well, I say people, other like friends. And it was just the sort of thing where you come home from work, you crack a drink. What's everyone doing? What are people playing? And for some period of time, it was Dance Revolution Mario.
They were the good days, weren't they? They were the good days.
I was up to the like whatever the hardest difficulty is, like very hard or something, and I was, oh man, cracking over the Bowser's Castle. I can't remember the names of all the songs, but I don't have it within reach. I've got a dance mat.
Yeah, you
I
do.
got one off Amazon recently,
Yeah, you do.
and I've got a copy of the game.
Brilliant. And we're going to see it, aren't we? Yes.
And how often
on.
do you break out the moves?
Oh,
Well,
listen.
I only got
You
the
say
dance
that
like
in
a
jest,
week ago.
right? I used to live with Sam. I used to be one of the people that live with Sam. And Sam fucking dominates these things. I'll tell you right now, he's got the moves.
I'm worried that the mat may not be responsive on the left arrow, but yeah, I'm still trying to figure out how to get it working properly. So yeah,
I want to see it.
emulation bit tricky, but it should be fine.
Yep. Sam was an absolute fucking fiend on the dance mat. A fiend. Good pick, Sammy. Now, when to play this couch multiplayer, so this would be you connect
People.
multiple mats.
Yeah, so we had 2 mats,
Right.
And you just like it's just a dance off. Yeah,
It's a dance off. Yeah, okay.
dance off.
Star Lord.
I think G was just a little bit better than me.
Yeah,
I
okay.
think the way he did it, it's like he didn't have any control of his legs, but they were where they needed to be. But it looked crazy. I felt like I was
He's
a bit
having
more
a seizure.
I know what I'm doing. I'm just not doing it quite as good as you. But
Yep.
you look weird. Anyway, it's fine.
Noodle legs.
That's it. The top torso just doesn't move.
And just
Still. Overneath. Nice one. All right, Scotty, follow that.
what
Follow that
genre
blast
is
from the
your
past.
Number 8. Platformers.
Maybe.
Multiplayer
No.
games.
Specifically couch ones.
Yeah,
So-
specifically.
Yeah, before you all jump down my throat again, it is a pick your flavor, but I do have it narrowed down
Okay.
for those who are
We need to
precious
write-
about it.
We need to write some rules for how
That's
this
it.
channel operates.
Hey,
Those who like their rules.
so my number 8,
Stick of the establishment,
Is-
Scott. Fuck 'em.
my number 8 is good old beat 'em ups.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
90s and 80s fucking beat 'em
Nice.
ups.
I appreciate, by the way, the editing work here on Scott's behalf. Like, he's really going to the lengths here to show us entire.
Well, I've got this is my only invite. I might not get another one.
Fucking looking that way.
So for it's we've all played beat 'em ups and probably dozens of them at that. For me personally, the peak of it was Streets of Rage,
Streets of Rage.
the
Oh,
original.
Wow.
This
Look
is
at that. Look at that. They don't make covers like this anymore, do they?
No,
Like,
they
the
fucking
ground
don't.
Cover. They're just like, it's just epic.
Yep. It's just It's I've played all of the Streets of Rage games, and I love them all to varying degrees. But one was the peak for me. It was just came down to music. I liked the gameplay. Some of the others got really wacky and trippy with some of their enemies. Not that one didn't, but it was a little bit more grounded than the rest. And interestingly enough, some of the sprites between with the punches and stuff are very similar, particularly the grabs. Actually, when you sort of grab an enemy or get grabbed by an enemy, it actually is very similar to the sprites from Double Dragon.
Yeah, okay.
They, to the point where you'd swear this game's made by the same people.
Right.
They're so damn similar. But yeah, Streets of Rage was my Double Dragon.
Nice. Yeah, no, good pick. Can't argue with that one. I mean, I liked Double Dragon, but yeah, if you said Streets of Rage, it's like, yeah, fair call. Did you play the new one, Scott? The number 4?
Yeah, I've played a lot of number 4.
Did you like it then?
I did really, really like it.
Cool.
Number 4 did a great job. It was more like sort of comic booky with its art style rather than trying to go for realistic, and I didn't mind that at all. They did a great job of sort of continuing the story, but one of the sort of expansion added like a nightmare mode to it, which is like a endurance survival game where you get plopped in a level, you beat all the enemies that come at you, and then you get to go up to another level and beat slightly harder enemies, and you try and see how far you can get. But it allowed you to play as not just the current game, number 4's depiction of the characters, but all of the characters from the previous games.
Okay.
So, like my favorite is Axel, who's front and center on the poster there. Here's my favorite, and you can play as 4 different versions of him.
Okay.
From Streets of Rage 1 through to 4. One of the characters is even a kangaroo, who is a secret character in Streets of Rage 2, if I remember right.
Of course it was.
So yeah, it was just number 4 was really, really great. Number 1 is still
Someone's the special one for you.
The special one for me, yeah.
Cool.
I remember picking it up at cash converters.
Oh, wow.
Like dead cheap.
Yeah, nicely done.
Still have it.
Scott, that's your first good pick. Well done.
Once we got past that, beat him up.
All right, let's hit number 7s.
7.
Lucky number 7. My number 7's a crossover already, fellas. It's a crossover with Scott, which isn't hard considering he's just sort of taking on entire genres of things. But no.
We're involving the audience, letting them pick for themselves.
Hey, they're not here for us to let them pick.
That's it.
They're here for us to tell them
what they want. And what they want, Scott, is a good Mario Party. All right? An actual Mario Party. But this is much like Scott. This is just Mario Party is my pick. I chosen number 2 because that's the one I've put the most hours into. That's the one I remember most fondly. Everything Scott said. But I feel like if you missed Mario Party in the Nintendo 64 era, you really missed Mario Party, like the experience in its prime. I feel like that was Mario Party 1, 2, and 3. Those 3 games are absolute. They're both bangers and train wrecks in the best, and that combination just makes them this unique alchemy that you don't really get anywhere else. But yeah, number 2 was my one. I played all 3, but number 2 is the one that was continually being rented out from Blockbuster and Civic Video. Whenever we had a sleepover, a slumber party, or a birthday party, it was always, can we get Mario Party? And can we argue with each other very loudly?
Sorry, just noting that we're streaming on YouTube. Could you just explain the renting out from Civic and Blockbuster?
Yes, right, yeah. So there used to be these places that you could go that it was kind of like a library but for video games and movies, but you had to pay a small fee for each one, and they would let you borrow it for a set period of time, either overnight, 3 days, or a week. And if you were of a certain age, like we are, then you probably spent an awful lot of time in these establishments because that was cheaper than buying video games because you were a child and had no money.
And yet, Jamie rented out Mario Party 2 enough to have bought his own copy.
I probably did, man. Like, honestly, I probably went pretty close to it, I reckon. Yeah, that one came out a lot. Oh, good stuff. Anyway, that's my number, whatever, on 7.
Number 7. All right. My number 7. We're still back to the 64. Let's stick on the 64. It is Bomberman 64.
Yeah, I had a feeling you'd have this one on here, Sammy.
It was a decision between 64 and the Super Bomberman. I played both of them quite a lot, but I think Bomberman 64 I played a little bit more. And one of my high school friends, we had a bit of a rivalry because it was one of those rare times when in a multiplayer game, we were exactly even when it came to our skill level. And we stayed even the entire time we played it. It was wild. I've never experienced anything like it. And it is a rivalry I will probably remember until the day I die.
I'll take to my grave.
We were like 50, and I was bitching about online MMR because that's like artificial. But when it happens naturally with people that you know, and like you have a mutual respect that one of us is going to lose, and we don't know who it's going to be, that's perfect couch co-op. Not co-op, couch PvP.
Definitely not co-op. No.
But yeah, no, it was a great game. It was a fun game.
Yeah, that's one I didn't get to really. I used to love drawing Bomberman. Actually, I used to draw a lot of Bomberman art, but I didn't play the game very much. I've got a feeling now that you've had this on your list that I know another classic Nintendo 64 title that you might have on your list further up. Really? But I'll see if I'm right when it gets here. Yeah, we'll see. Good pick though. Have you played that, Scott?
I've only ever played Bomberman by myself through emulators back when I was high school, but I have seen a 8-player game of Bomberman on Super Nintendo.
Shit. Holy shit! How?
Like they used 2 multi-taps.
Yeah. Okay.
And there was this. I think that I can't remember which one because I think there was a few Bombermans on Super Nintendo, but there was only one capable of doing 8 if you had 2 multi-taps.
Yikes!
I saw a bunch of people playing that, and it looked like hella fun. I don't think anyone could keep track of where they were because there's too many characters too many characters on the field and bombs going up, but it looked like it would have been really fun.
Particularly because of the nature of Bomberman, where it rewards like that sort of like you've got that twitchy gameplay, but it also rewards the strategic thinking a few steps ahead because of the chain reactions. And 8, I just can't process. I don't have.
Yeah. That would just been chaos, complete chaos. Still a banging list, Sammy. Killing it.
Picking games.
Picking actual titles, single individual games. Yeah, it's crazy.
All right, Scotty.
All right. Well, my number 7.
Hang on. Wait.
It's not a genre.
Is it a game?
It's a game.
Yay!
It's a game.
Seriously.
And this one uses so when you say couch multiplayer, this one literally uses the couch. Can you use anything really? So this game cost me about, I think, $5.
Oh wow!
And $5 to get the game, but to get everything needed to incorporate to get everything that I needed to do a full complement of players was a bit more expensive. But my pick for number 7 is Johann Sebastian Joust.
Yeah, okay.
This thing
I forgot about this, and now that you say it, it's like, of course this is on your list. In fact, I'm surprised it's this low down.
This is fucking amazing, and I happen to have 7 PlayStation Move controllers to pull this thing off. It is. It's chaotic. It's frustrating. It's so much fun, and it can just go on for ages playing Johann Sebastian Joust. It's one I highly recommend having a large living space or a house to be able to run around in, and the more players, the better it is.
Sorry, what is this game? I have no idea.
So, for Sammy and those of you who don't know, Johann Sebastian Joust is a game where everyone. Well, you could use a Wii remote because there was a version on Wii, but it's best with the PlayStation Move remote. So everyone has a PlayStation move remote that has a light on it, and the TV will play a piece of classical music, hence the name Johann Sebastian Bach. And the music will get sped up or paused or slow down, and based on how the tempo and the speed of the music that's playing, players are able to move around. And the idea is that you're trying to knock each other out of the game. So when the music's at a normal pace, you can move normally. But if you suddenly jolt your hand, or someone knocks your hand and makes you jolt your remote, it'll knock you out of the game. The idea is to, it's about, steady, calm movements and trying to, just knock the other person's remote so that they get knocked out of the game. It's motion sensitivity. When you got 8 people and the music sort of stops, everyone's frozen in place, because you can turn the sensitivity right up so that the slightest little jiggle and the remotes will knock you out. And people do really weird things to try and tag someone out. They'll force them into another person. Or I like to occasionally hold my remote out to one side whilst lifting my leg up and trying to kick the other person's hand.
But when you describe it, this has just got Sony fucking dollar signs all over it. How many Move controllers do you think have been broken?
I have no idea, but I haven't wrecked any. I've got 7 of mine, but you can use the standard controller as well. But it doesn't work as good, because when you're in the game, the bulb lights up to your color and it turns red when you're knocked out. Okay. Whereas when you're just using a controller, it does a really intense vibration and then just crashes when you've been knocked out.
Okay.
So using the remotes is the way to go with it. But it's fantastic. I've had a whole house used, because you don't actually need to see the TV at all to play. You just need to hear the music.
This is one where Sammy is an absolute demon on the dance mat. Scott is a demon at Joust. I've played Joust a couple of times with Scotty. Hasn't gone well for me. I've seen Scotty play it. He's like a lithe fucking cat with this game.
And you can set your own rules as to what's acceptable. I've played games where people were throwing couch cushions at each other, and pillows and plushy toys and stuff to try and just hit the remotes.
I feel like you could combine this with one of these in one hand and a Nerf gun in the other hand, and then you got yourself a time, I think.
That's next. That's next time I play it. But number 7, Johann Sebastian Joust.
All right, you're moving up, Scott. You're moving up. Coming up out of the muck. Number 6. All right, my number 6. I'm curious whether this is going to be on anyone else's list or not, actually. I don't know. Maybe it won't be. I thought it would, but maybe it won't be. I had to put it on the list just because, not necessarily because I think it's the greatest couch multiplayer game ever, but because of the number of amazing times I've had playing it with friends and family, and what it's the atmosphere that it has created. My number 6 is Wii Sports, or Wii Sports Resort, or whatever flavor of this that you want to have. Wii Sports is the one I've chucked on here because it's the one I played the most of. This was a little bit of a stroke of genius, I think. When the Wii was sort of pitched to make itself a game system for the whole family that everyone could get involved in, and this was kind of its killer app that it launched with, and I think it did exactly what it set out to do. I've played only this game on my list have I played with my mum and my dad and my nana and my younger brothers and their girlfriends all at the same time in the same space, all having a laugh. We've got videos of us playing this that are hilarious. It was a great time when this came out, and nothing else had really done anything like this before. This was kind of almost more of an experience than a game, and I thought it was just brilliant. And then they obviously updated it with Wii Sports Resort. I didn't love the selection of stuff in Resort as much, even though it was a better crafted experience. The actual sports weren't as good, I didn't think. But yeah, just a good, solid, it's not one I'm probably going to go back to now, but I'll always have those experiences in my memories of it creating these amazing times of playing games in the same space with people I love. So that's my number 6, Wii Sports.
Should we say anything about that? Jamie's got it covered, right?
What's that?
Oh, just like we didn't say anything about Wii Sport.
Oh, I don't know. Have you got anything to add?
Yeah, no, that's fine.
Yeah.
I mean, look, you're right. You're right. It's and like as a game, it was all about the bowling, right?
Yeah. Bowling was
being the tennis.
Yes.
But
the golf. I love the golf as well.
Yep.
For me, I found the golf anyway. Most of my time spent on it was bowling, doing that mode where they kept adding a line of pins.
Yes. Yeah.
To get that 100 pins.
The bowling was definitely the king, right? Because that was the easiest to conceptually understand for anybody.
It was also the most responsive in terms of like your inputs.
Yes.
Because like, you could put that spin on it, or you could bowl really fast. And
and that was amazing at the time. That was incredible. Like it was like, oh my god, I can spin the ball. This is amazing.
See, I always thought it was the tennis that was more accessible because I couldn't do the spin.
Yeah, tennis. You're right. The tennis, you just
swing. You just swing. You swing. You didn't have a button. Right? You didn't have to release the button at a certain point and worry about tilted wrist.
There's just something about the concept of bowling a ball.
The bowling lasts longer in a group, for sure.
Yeah, and everybody's been 10-pin bowling, in a group scenario. Like everyone kind of, like it was just immediately familiar. Anyway, it did exactly what
like once you've done the tennis, you've done the tennis. The bowling, though, you could try to get the spin in. You could try those challenges.
There was something there to work on, like a bit like golf. You could work at it. But yeah, I think that game did exactly what Nintendo wanted it to do, and that's why the Wii went
sell systems.
Bonk! It fucking sold crazy systems, and I think that's for that I applaud it, because the more people playing multiplayer games in that environment that we love so much that may not have ever done it before, a lot of people have gotten to have that experience because of Wii Sports, and I think that's pretty cool.
The shovelware that came as a result of that was Wii Carnival Sports, was it worth it?
Look, we're putting a full stop at the end of Wii Sports, and we're not worrying about anything else. I'm just talking about Wii Sports.
The ramifications, that's all. Ripples throughout history.
I didn't stop to think what they should.
All right. So what are we up to? Number 6.
Number six.
Hey, Jamie.
Yeah. Oh, yeah! Come on. Give me shit on my pick.
I gave you 0 shit on Tekken.
I agree wholeheartedly with your choice.
It's the most iconic for me couch co-op fighting game.
Yep.
That's why I didn't say too much when you said yours, because I'll save it for now. But I think, as you're saying, right, the key to Tekken Tag Tournament being so good is the skill ceiling in the game is both very low and very high. As in, to button mash, you can do some cool looking shit. The skill ceiling's very low. Anyone can do it, especially if you pick Eddie, right?
Mm-hmm.
The joy of the game, though, as well, is to learn how to play the game. The skill ceiling is relatively high. I would say it's a harder game than Mortal Kombat or Street Fighter as a series to play Tekken the way it's intended to be played. And
I absolutely concur with that, Sam.
It was far less likely that one of your mates would learn how to do the jumping kick, medium punch, Hadouken combo. That was easier to learn than it was to learn Jin's juggle combo. And that juggle combo would just wreck any newbie. This was a game where I had to play random. I couldn't pick my favorite characters. I had to play random characters. Otherwise, there was just no point in anyone else playing against me. But because it had so many characters and they were so diverse in the way they played compared to Street Fighter and Mortal Kombat, it meant that I could still be a very bad player if I'm using Paul, despite being a pretty good player when I'm using Jin Kazama. And that's, I think, why it lasted so long and was so popular as a multiplayer game in those times. So.
Yep.
I really want to play some Tekken 8. I want to catch up back up on the lore. We talked about Mortal Kombat lore. This game has a fucking father.
This shit's
who is
wild,
As
man.
a jaguar-headed dude.
Who then, and that jaguar-headed dude is like a good guy who's trying to get money for orphans.
It's
Good
wild.
for, good for him. I hope he doesn't eat any.
That's in love with the panda. And
No,
the panda is a bodyguard of a girl who was trying to find Jin because she's in love with him. But then his mom turned into an angel.
And there was
but
something
he's got the
about
devil gene.
the music too, Sam. Like, it was such a subdued soundtrack, but those really subdued backing tracks, again, it was like WCW. Like, as soon as I looked it up and listened to it, I was like, oh, I'm there, I'm back there, you know. Like,
and do you remember the killer feature of Tekken? Was it Tekken Tag Team? Maybe it was a different Tekken game, actually. I think it was a different one. I think it was Tekken 3 or something, where like if you had save file for like earlier Tekken games, you could watch all the cutscenes.
oh, right,
Watch all the intros and endings for all the characters.
yeah, right.
Great series. It's a shame I didn't play too much after Tekken 4.
No, that was a banger.
See, I only tried. I went through a phase where I tried all these different fighting games I've never attempted before. Tekken was the most popular series that I struggled the most with getting into, and it just everyone to me felt like they were wearing Link's iron boots for a Macarena. They were just very compared to Mortal Kombat, especially Street Fighter. It was just very stuck, rigid a bit, and I had the hardest time with that. But I think I played Tekken 6. That was that was my one and only sort of Tekken game, stint at Tekken. But
I feel like Tag stands apart from all the others. You know what I mean? Like, it's I don't know what it is.
Is it a spin-off or a main entry?
It's a spin-off.
Yeah,
Spin-off.
So Dom's in the chat just saying you're coming through a bit quiet, Sammy.
Oh, really? I was probably facing the wrong way because I'm looking at the screen.
He says to get that mic in your face, that we're too loud for you.
Okay. So, my number 6?
Go for it, Scotty. Good pick, Sam.
Oh,
Again.
Jimmy.
Yes, sir. Ah, yeah. Well done.
I didn't want to say too much because
That's a crossover on the same number.
On the same number.
Shit.
Same number.
Wow, okay.
But absolutely. I hosted a retro game day. I used to do it. I haven't done it for a couple of years, but the very first time I did it, it was Wii Sports. I had everyone make Miis of themselves.
That's half fun too.
Yeah. Oh, that took ages. That was like an hour of the day because I had a full complement of play. I had like 8 people.
It's a game in and of itself.
Yeah, but yeah, and we had a good go of the bowling, a bit of the tennis, some golf. Bowling was the biggest success, understandably so. But we had an absolute blast. I remember writing down like key moments and stuff during the game. So I sent an email sort of to everyone that like, you know, little awards they got, like, you know, most strikes or most strikeouts and fun little things like that. But yeah, it was amazing playing the good old Wii Sports.
It was a memory.
I just I wish it had a bit more meat to it, like with with being able to sort of do a golf tournament, sort of thing with people, as opposed. You can sort of do a rudimentary one, but I mean like a proper tournament mode. But yeah, it was absolutely
like Wii Sports was one of those games that came along that, like, it wasn't about the game itself. It was it was one of those games that facilitated an experience, right? It created memories. Like that was a memory creating machine. It wasn't about the game. Like you or I aren't going to sit down solo and like, oh man, I can't wait to put a couple of hours into Wii Sports, right? Like it was.
I did though.
I bet you did.
Oh man, I got the highest score on tennis and golf.
No,
I remember practicing away for like an hours trying to get my first hole in one. I did on a par 3. Took me a while.
I didn't do that.
But yeah, no, it's just something I wanted to tick off my bucket list. I wanted a hole in one on Wii Sports, and it's going to happen.
Yes, Mom, guess what I did?
But that was the thing. Like, it never sort of recorded your stats. Like, you got in your Wii's menu, you got like the little messages, the little letters, like you got a hole in one on this date.
Like
great.
outside its purview.
But yeah, there was no like player profile where it recorded your stats or anything, and that's the
Got
sort of
what's
thing I
his
wish I
Wii Sports
missed.
achievements.
Yes, but no, it was fantastic. I loved Wii Sports Resort 2. It was all about archery and the sword fighting for me with that.
Archery was fun. Yeah,
I could never get the frisbee though.
Yeah, that was tricky.
I could never get it. It was
Frisbee
just
golf was
it wouldn't
fun.
work. But yeah,
Good pick. Can't argue. You're stepping up.
Damn
You're back.
right.
Hey, look. Hey, Scott.
Damn right,
Welcome
you
to the
can't
channel,
argue.
Scott. Scott, everybody. He's here. It's good to have him here. Look, it's great. A privilege.
Started
I'd say.
picking games.
Yeah.
Suddenly it turns around.
What are we up to? Are we up to number 5 now?
Five.
Number 5.
All right,
Halfway.
let's do
Here, look, I'll
5.
show you.
Halfway.
Oh, there it is. Number 5 says it right there. Oh, Scott's vanished.
No,
Scott's
he's
just
here.
gone. He's just left.
That's all right.
All right, my number 5, I think, is the most recent game on my list. It's a very modern game, and it's
Boo.
you don't really associate couch multiplayer with the modern era. I find it's making a little bit of a comeback, but it's not a term that a phrase that comes to mind when you think of multiplayer games these days. But
It's like
I
DLC.
think this is kind of like a sleeper banger. Sam's even mentioned it. Like, it hasn't been on your list, but you've mentioned it in passing already on this video.
Yeah, of course it is.
I think this is an absolute screamer of a couch multiplayer game. My number 5 is Diablo 3 on the Switch. Have you guys played Diablo 3 on the Switch?
Yeah.
Have you played it in couch multiplayer?
Yeah. Actually, I think it was PlayStation 4, but yeah, same game.
It's fucking great. It's slick. It's clean. It works. It's up to 4 players. The only thing that brings it down is the inventory management. It has to be done one at a time, right? That's the
Hey,
only
guys,
thing
I'll
that
be
holds
right
it
back.
up. But if other than that, oh fuck, just get up and leave in the middle of my fucking bit. That's fine. Okay, that's okay. And now I'm sitting here by myself talking to myself.
Hey. Whoa, I'm here.
Yeah, Diablo 3. I love it. I love it in particular on the Switch. I like it on the Switch better than I like it on PC, I think. I just think it's already such a great pull out and play anywhere action RPG, but adding in the fact that it is just so clean and smooth and easy to play couch multiplayer and so much fun. I've had a blast playing this multiplayer in the same room. And again, it's an experience that you don't really get anymore, especially in the Diablo franchise, right?
Yeah, like a good game.
Yeah.
The controller mapping worked really well for Diablo 3.
Yeah,
It was a lot of fun.
absolutely. Yeah, it had
Diablo 4
so many
didn't
good things going for it.
Bring
Like,
it across for some reason.
I don't know what it was. You know, when they said we're porting Diablo to a console, right? I was like, that's ridiculous. That's never going to fucking work. Diablo's mouse and keyboard only, left, right click only. But they fucking did it with Diablo 3. It is, I think, arguably better on the console than it is, especially on the Switch as a pick up and play game. It is fucking great.
Even on
So that's
PC, I'll play it with a controller, like hands down.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah. It just is so smooth, like butter smooth controls. My number 5, Diablo 3 for the Switch in particular.
Number 5, right? If we're up to number 5, then we're up to Double Dragon 2.
Oh, yeah! Oh,
And-
Sam, you are just fucking... We are in sync on this list.
I had the exact same response, like when I was grabbing the box art. Like, fuck, man, this box
Look
art
at it.
is
Go back.
just-
Switch back to it for a second.
It's
Like,
just
look at that
holy
art.
shit.
Look at the
Like,
fucking art on this box. Like, that is... I want a poster of that on my wall.
That's not a bad idea.
In fact, I
actually.
might try and find one. Because that is just... look at it. It's
a bit fuzzy,
gorgeous.
but hey, I didn't get a high res one. But man, and like Double Dragon was such an iconic series for like me and the people I was around at the time because it was in the arcades. Double Dragon 1, Double Dragon 2. And like I remember being so excited that holy shit, we can play it on a Nintendo at home. I don't need to spend 40 cents every time I lose 3 lives. Let's fucking go. And there was that sort of mystical like getting that flip, right? When you grab them by the head, flip over top and then throw the enemy.
Yes.
Or the bicycle kicks or the
Hurricane kick.
Hurricane kick. That's it.
Yeah, that's the one.
Man, it was such a good game.
Yeah,
Love
and
it.
the hurricane
It's-
kick was so hard to pull off too because like the NES
timing's
controllers
so weird.
did not like because you had to press both A and B at the same time, but it was like so It was so finicky as to whether it would register as a hurricane kick or not.
I'm convinced to this day that you can't press them at the exact same frame.
Yeah, that's it. It was
slightly off.
For such an easy mechanical move to pull off, press these two buttons at once. It was a fucking coin flip as to whether you would pull off a hurricane kick or jump off the side of the fucking building.
And like man. I remember the brutal second stage when like you're on the rooftops and it's like instead of doing, like the up and down, and like suddenly you're just being knocked off the side like it's fucking Castlevania.
Yep. That's it. The one in the chopper, the level in the chopper where
just knock him off the chopper. Opening. Just knock him out the door. Straight, like wait at the door on the side and just kick him straight out.
But every time the door opens, it like sucks you out the door. Like, yeah.
But then you don't get as much experience. Anyway, Double Dragon.
It's just great.
Not experience. So good. Jamie's gone again. Good thing it is your turn.
You'll be back, and in greater numbers.
Or at least one.
I'm back.
My number 5. My number 5. I know Jamie can appreciate this one. Probably you too, Sam. I don't think anyone couldn't. So my number 5.
There we go. You've built it up now. This better be good. This better be real fucking good. Okay, all right. Okay, fair enough.
Perfect Dark.
No, second one.
Fair call.
I can't decide on these two. They are both the one and the same. They are both magical experiences of my youth in the Nintendo 64 era.
Scott, normally I would give you a bunch of shit for picking another pair, like another multi-game choice, but I actually agree with you on this one.
Wrong.
It is hard to split them.
No, there is an objective answer to this.
Which one is it?
Leave it in the comments.
That's the answer, is it, Sammy? It's GoldenEye was like my first proper 3D first-person shooter. Like I'm sure it was probably most people's.
When you say first proper 3D, is that because you're excluding Duke Nukem 3D and games like that, or because you don't consider them proper 3D?
I don't consider games like Duke Nukem 3D, which are 2.5D.
No, just clarifying.
Yeah. No, because I played Ultimate Doom a lot prior to GoldenEye.
Dom. He's in the chat saying that GoldenEye is the correct answer.
But anyway, yes, I have so many good memories of Perfect Dark and GoldenEye with 4 people. I remember I won a high school tournament with GoldenEye. Just shat on everyone that played. Just to the point where I was actually a bit disappointed I didn't have a good enough challenge.
Oh my god!
I
had to start using my left hand.
I had to start
in public, and I'm like, "This is just not fun, guys."
Yeah, no.
But it was absolutely fantastic, and doing little things like in Perfect Dark, like getting the laptop gun, setting it to sentry mode, and putting it above the door.
Good. That was so fucking good. Finding sentry gun, like laptop gun hiding spots, was like a game in and of itself. You just
afford an expansion port though, right? Like I couldn't afford an expansion card.
Well, it came with what game did it come with? Did it come with
Donkey Kong 64?
I think it came with a few games. Donkey Kong 64 was holy shit! Scott's just died.
Yeah, that was the cat. That was
Great
the cat.
died.
I remember it being Donkey Kong 64 for sure.
Okay.
I never had Donkey Kong 64. I don't think I can't remember how I got my expansion slot though, but I remember Perfect Dark required it. Yes, Rogue Squadron required it.
Donkey Kong 64. Even with Perfect Dark, like having, because remember, what the best thing about Perfect Dark was bots. That was my first encounter with bots, right, in a video game, and it was fucking glorious. And especially when you put, like, I can't remember what the maximum amount of bots you could put in was, plus 4 players, and you had any kind of weapon that had explosions. Holy shit, you were playing a slideshow, not a game anymore. And it was glorious.
It had AI modes for the bots.
I know, they had different behaviors. It was so fucking good.
I loved setting it to there was one that was called like Revenge or something like that. So when you killed it, it would hunt you down.
It would come after you and hunt you down. Yeah, it was absolute bangers. Yep. No arguments from me, Scotty.
Yep. So that's my number 5. Perfect Dark and GoldenEye.
Horrible.
Garbage games. Dirt. Number 4.
Number 4.
All right, my number 4 is on my list, not for its multiplayer
Wait.
PvP. It's on my list because I didn't get to experience this game fully for everything that it was lauded for in its multiplayer PvP. That's what a lot of people associate with this game. That's not actually my experience with it. My experience is in the co-op section of this game, and that's what earned a spot on my list. And that is going to be Halo Combat Evolved.
I think co-op's a pretty common way people loved Halo primarily.
I think so, yeah. But when you talk about the glory days of Halo multiplayer, it is linking up a couple of Xboxes because the levels were kind of built for 8, 16 players. Playing in those huge multiplayer levels with just 4 of you was a little bit ho-hum. I didn't really care for it. Didn't find it that enjoyable. But this was, I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, the first time we'd ever gotten a co-op campaign in a first-person shooter ever, I think.
Duke Nukem 3D.
Was that on a console?
Well, sorry, is that the list just for consoles?
Oh, no. Okay, well, on a console. I didn't play Duke Nukem 3D co-op. I only played it solo. But
there were other things.
This is my first experience, we'll say it that way, with a co-op campaign. And that was coming off the back of games like GoldenEye and Perfect Dark, which were largely solo experiences in obviously the campaign section. Being able to sit down with somebody next to you and play through the campaign and look over, and there they are, and they can look at you, and you can see each other, and it was fucking mind-blowing. I remember
Duke Nukem 64. Yes, there you go. Anyway,
there you go. All right. Well, I missed that one. This is my first rodeo for that. Great game. Reliving it right now on the channel with Scotty. Loving every second of it. Reminding me of everything I loved about it. In the
every death of it.
Every death of it, yeah. But back in the day, I think, did we play this together back in the day as well, Scott?
No.
I think it was...
no, we played 3.
Oh, it was
3. 2 and 3.
2 and 3, yeah.
2 and
we
3.
missed the first one.
Right? I had only number 1 at the time, and you had 2. I actually have your copy of 2.
Oh, really?
Yep, I've got your copy of 2.
He is a collector.
And you're not getting it back. But yeah, I still have your tinned...
Wow.
Your tin case copy of Halo 2.
Wow.
And when I was visiting you was... it was going in the bin, man. It was either I took it or it goes in the bin. Doing the Scarab things for the first time.
Oh yeah,
with 2 people.
Yep,
is
riding the warthog with 2 people.
Yep.
There's so many things with 2 people that this was accidentally grenading each other with 2 people. This co-op campaign goodness. Halo Combat Evolved. Absolutely love it. Deserved a spot on this list. My number. What are we? 4.
4.
Done.
Counting all of them. All right, so my number 4. We're going back to Tandania Street, living with the boys, coming home, grabbing a drink.
Oh, shout out to 10. What was it? Dania Street?
Tandania Street.
Tandania Street.
Mansfield. Don't bother. Don't live there anymore. Haven't for many decades.
Don't swarm the place for for Sam's autograph. Oh yeah. Oh, where's Dom now?
I've hinted at rhythm games being a vibe at a time in a place, and that was, of course, Tandania Street. And I feel like Guitar Hero 2 was the pinnacle before Guitar Hero got too popular, was too cool, was too, hey, let's bring out a new copy every 3 months.
Yep.
Dog shit. Guitar Hero 3 was fine, but then it was just World Tour and suddenly, holy shit, Rock Band's here, and now people are playing Rock Band, and it just diverged into a mess. And
World Tour was my entry into the series, Sam.
And that was the Rock Band equivalent, right? That's the one that had the bass, the guitar, the drums.
Yeah.
Right? That had the full set. I don't know. There's something about Guitar Hero 2, particularly since the secret song, one of the secret songs, was Trogdor from Homestar Runner. Strong
Trogdor.
Bad. So, do you remember Homestar Runner, Jamie? Do you ever come across
that? I think I do, yeah. Yeah.
Old Flash website back in the day. And one of the most
That's in the
popular
Wayback Machine.
parts of that website was one of the characters, Strongbad, would answer emails. And in one of those emails, he was asked to draw a dragon. And he drew Trogdor, the dragon that burninates the countryside, and ended up doing a metal song along with that email. That song was in Guitar Hero 2. And I just think that level of indie, that level of like...
And that's like a product that
grassroots.
dates it, doesn't it?
Oh,
you know, like
absolutely.
immediately,
Yeah,
like
yeah.
that dates it. Whenever any game or song or movie or anything like that does something like that, it's like that now is a product of that
And look,
particular era.
let's be real. Like, sometimes that's a bad thing. In this case, I think anyone from that time period, if they saw Guitar Hero 2 and someone put on Trogdor, they would be fucking, let's go. Oh, yeah, nah. And Judy Nails. She's a cutie. So
Good memories. Good memories. Yeah. Guitar Hero was, yeah, that's a good one. That's a good pick. How did you, how was your couch multiplayer set up with this? Like, what did you...
just two guitars. Just
Yeah, you just
two
did
people
just...
playing at the same time.
Okay.
Yeah.
It wasn't like a play and pass sort of thing. You did two at once.
Oh, like there was that as well. But
Yeah. Nice. Nice. Good pick. All right, Scotty.
All right, my number 4. Hey,
Hit us with
this
your best
one. This one I first played with you, Jimmy.
Oh,
But this
banger,
this
then.
was
Must be
a
one. I wonder if it's
this
so high on the
was
list.
this was a completely unexpected hit, and it's so basic and simple, and it has a partner to go with. Not too dissimilar to Perfect Dark and Goldeneye, but they both
Hang on.
came together.
Hang on. Let me
They're
think
both
about
on the one game. And
All right, give me a clue. Hang on. What system?
Nintendo.
Which one?
Oh, come on. If I give you the console, it's going to make it too easy. All right. Okay, fine. Wii U. We played this at PAX. The first year of PAX.
No. No, it can't be that.
So anyway,
No, it's
this
not
was
what I'm
a
thinking of. I can't remember. Go ahead.
this was a fantastic little game. It's only a little game, and damn, it is so much fun. I hosted a retro game day featuring these two. One got more popular than the other, but it's Mario Chase and Luigi's Ghost Mansion, but more specifically, Mario Chase.
Yeah. That's right. Now, didn't these get bundled into...
They were
Nintendo
bundled
Land?
into Nintendo Land.
Yes, right.
were-
I knew playing Mario Chase at PAX. Holy shit.
Yep. Gary fucking hated it, and we freaking loved it.
We thought it was the bomb. Yeah.
Yep, it was so much fun. It was just
God.
yeah, it was just amazing. Just have you ever played it, Sam? Have you?
not even. I don't think so. No, I never played Nintendo Land either.
Fair enough. Well,
By the time I got the Wii U, it was all about Super Mario Maker for me and Super Mario 3D Land.
So Mario Chase was a game where if you had a full complement of players, you had what was it, 3 versus 1, Jimmy, or was it 4 versus 1?
It was tag. It was Mario
Yeah,
tag.
yeah. It's a game. It's a game of tag. One person is as their Mii dressed as Mario, and the others are their Mii's dressed as Toads. And you're and there was only like 3 levels, but there was there was
Imagine
only
like a
3
Mario
levels.
Kart battle stadium that you're running
Yeah.
around in.
Yeah.
With multiple
Colorful,
levels.
big blocks, different. All the areas were divided into 4 colors.
Just playing tag, and you had to tag by you had to tackle them, didn't you? If I
You
remember
had to
right,
just touch
Is that
them, and you had to just touch them. The Toads though had a tackle button,
right?
and so yeah, they're just trying to find Mario. The person who is Mario is on the gamepad, and they had a little mini map on the gamepad that could see where everyone is.
Yes.
The Mario player could see where everyone is, but the Toads had to use the screen to see where Mario is, and there was no mini map for them. So they all had to communicate.
Mario Party games.
Yeah, it wouldn't surprise me. Actually, it's got a real sort of Mario Party mini game.
Like it sounds like there was Mario Party mini games that might have been similar to that they adapted from it. Yeah. So I think
that wouldn't surprise me at all.
But yeah, it was freaking fantastic. The Toads had to work together. When one spotted him, they'd say, he's going into the red zone, and so the others would try and head him off.
Oh, Scott, That's
Pardon?
your number. I mean, it was fun, but that's your number 4.
Yeah, yep. I absolutely have a I love Perfect Dark and Goldeneye, and that's fifth because of my.
That this was above
Yeah.
fucking Goldeneye.
This is me sort of commenting nowadays.
Shoot.
So right now I don't get anyone to play Perfect Dark or Goldeneye with.
Yeah, right.
So it's sort of relegated to my memories of it.
Yep.
But I can still get people to play Mario Chase.
Yeah, okay.
What's it
And
about?
I always have. It's only on Wii U.
Oh yeah, that's
Yeah.
in my cupboard. I'm not getting
You need
to play that.
So mine's hooked up to TV. I've got a room that's full of all my old consoles.
It is right there in in the super accessible basket, right? Like it's literally just use the joystick to run around.
I hosted my retro game day with 8 people again.
Yeah.
So we had to swap them over.
Yeah.
But whoever played Mario and managed to beat the others and outrun stay away with the clock, like the clock ran out, they'd stay as Mario, and then the other team would come in and take a crack at them.
Yeah.
But yeah, every one of the people that was at almost every one of the retro game day don't play video games or not as regularly, certainly not this sort of game, and they absolutely freaking loved it.
Okay, so this is like it's really another Wii Sports where it's like, again, it's a very simple game, really, but it's facilitating an experience that has created a wonderful memory for you, and that's why it makes the list. Yeah, okay. No, that's cool.
And
I don't think
you've
it belongs to
all
Love
ordered from the
Goldeneye. I
store
think you're
before the
fucking
store went
batshit
down.
crazy for that, but I can appreciate. Sorry, Sam, I talked over you. What'd you say?
That's all right. Don't worry.
Flabbergasted.
All right, number 3.
Yeah, let's do it. Top 3. Top 3, gentlemen. My number 3 is a game that Scott actually introduced me to. I don't think it's going to be on his list though. If it's,
what could be better than Mario Chase?
It's a shitload better than fucking Mario Chase, that's for sure. I can't imagine. I don't know if it'll be on Scott's list or not. We'll see. This is I'm going to spoil something right now. Smash Brothers is not on my list. Okay. This is my entry for that style of game. I prefer it infinitely more than I like Smash Brothers. Don't get me wrong. I think Smash Brothers is a fun game. It made my short list when I was working this out, but it didn't make it into my top 10. This one did because I've had so much fun playing this game. Dom, if he's in the chat, I've played it with Dom.
PlayStation All-Stars, right?
No, it's not PlayStation All-Stars. This is a tiny little indie game that came out for the Ouya called Towerfall. I fucking love Towerfall. Have you played this, Sammy?
No, I have seen it on Steam and
I don't think you would get on with it. Just again, it's as an accessibility thing because it is
Smash Brothers style games.
Oh right, okay.
I don't like the battle royale much.
This is an absolute cracker of if you want to play that kind of game. I think it plays up to 6 players. The controls are super fucking simple. 2D battle royale. You've got 3 arrows and a bow, and you die in 1 hit, and that's the game. Super slick platforming controls. You run a set of 5 matches through the same level that changes its orientation on each of the matches. Matches go for like what, Scott? A minute, 2 minutes, maybe, because it's a 1-hit kill scenario. This is a banger, an absolute banger. I've got this on the Switch, and it's gotten a fair bit of use on there. Whenever I get the chance to get people, in one room together, Towerfall is one of the first ones I suggest for that type of atmosphere, that Smash Brothers style game. I love it. If you haven't played it, if you're out there and you like Smash Brothers and you haven't tried Towerfall, make sure you go and give it a go. It is.
It's funny, Jim.
What's that?
I actually have not played it.
No,
you discovered it.
How did you?
Around the same time
told me about it and didn't actually play it.
But I never got the chance to play it. I had no idea it was on Switch, right, so I might have to just invest in that.
When you come visit,
I think it's on everything now.
Like yeah, I think you can get
it's good because I was considering getting an Ouya, but didn't.
Oh, God. You didn't play it on Ouya first, right, Jamie?
No. I played on the Switch first. And it's called, I've got Towerfall on my list. It's actually called Towerfall Ascension on the Switch. and I think it's just got a bit of extra stuff on it. But yeah. Great fucking such a good indie game. Scott, we're going to rectify that when you come up and visit, because I think you will like this game. This is right up your alley. That's it. My number 3 of all time, Towerfall. Give it a go if you haven't tried it.
All right, my number 3. None of you will see coming, and I'll expect that only.
Is it Duke Nukem 3D?
Is this where you break your streak, Sam?
Duke Nukem 3D was on my shortlist, because that Duke Nukem 64 actually would have been on my shortlist, not 3D, because like on the couch you need controllers and stuff. Yeah, but like. I didn't pick Duke Nukem 64, but holy shit, one of my friends with a explosive shell shotgun was untouchable, and multiplayer on Stadium, and the rest of us trying to hunt that motherfucker down. That was fun, but frustrating. Anyway, my actual number 3 is Snake Rattle and Roll on the NES.
I don't know this.
I'm not surprised.
What is this?
Scott, do you know this?
Hang on, what's that say? Watch out for Nibbly, Fibbly,
like it's a
flying carpet.
Like one of the marble games, like on an asymmetric.
It's
level?
Asymmetrical, but there's no marble mechanics or anything.
Okay.
It is a race to space between 2 snakes. Well, 1 snake if you're playing single player, but you can play it multiplayer, and technically you can play it cooperatively as well. And you would explore these 3-dimensional isometric environments, and you had to like eat the little nibblies, and every nibbly you ate, like if you look at the snakes, that they've got little circles, like the game Snake, you would add segments to your snake, and they'd get longer and longer and longer. And like the idea was you had to eat enough that there's a weighing machine that's kind of like what you hit with a hammer and it hits a bell, and you need to weigh enough when you get on it for it to hit the bell. But you can do that as a co-op, like with a friend, and you both have to add up to the correct weight so you can get past it and get to the next level. And it was just such a fun game. Like just cruising around the levels, exploring, trying to figure out how to get to certain areas. Like there was slight puzzle elements and how to like get to certain nibblies and stuff, or unlock secrets. And man, it was just so much fun. And it was the first game I rented for my first NES. And so, look, there's a lot of nostalgia doing a lot of work here, but like when I think of multiplayer games,
it's that kind of list, isn't it?
It was such a great game, multiplayer. I still am a little bit surprised it's never been revisited at all, as far as I can tell. I mean, Mattel's name's on it, so I don't know who actually did it in terms of real game companies. But
interesting. I wonder if Mattel's name's on it. I wonder if there was like toys involved at the time or something.
Well, at the time, the NES was sold by Mattel. It was being marketed really heavily as a toy. So there was probably
that's how it survived the video game market crash of 85, 86.
Right.
Yeah.
So 84, 85. It was marketed as a toy, not a video game.
Okay.
Yeah. There probably was like a developer involved that we might recognize or might be able to trace. It's just not on this front cover, and I didn't do any research. I didn't think anyone was going to ask me about it, to be frank.
Didn't think anyone would be fucking interested at all.
But yeah, great game.
Cool.
I think it holds
that actually sounds pretty good. And that was on NES, you said, like original
NES. Like I think it's actually crazy for what they achieved in that game on the NES. When you think about like other NES games like Super Mario Brothers 1 and stuff.
When we're wrapped up here, I'm going to go and Google it and see what it looked like. I'm really curious.
It's been a while.
I'm sure it looks rough.
I want to see.
But no, sounds like it's fun.
Cool.
You got to look at Mario Brothers 1 and then.
I love the nostalgic.
And then look back at it.
I love the nostalgic picks. The nostalgic picks are the best ones, I think. Good ones, Sammy. All right,
my number three. Okay, so when I did my list,
what else is better than fucking GoldenEye?
Perfect Dark, apparently.
So my number 3 is it's this. When we were making this list, this straight away went into my top 3. It just instantly popped in there due to how much time I've spent playing this game or game series. But I couldn't sort of take it out of the top 3, even though I might feel differently nowadays a bit. But I couldn't. And this is another sort of pick your flavor, but I had a very specific one in mind when I put this on there.
Oh, here it is.
And Smash Brothers Melee was my flavor.
Yes,
like,
mine too.
I absolutely I actually did not like the original on 64. It didn't go with me at all. But when I got my GameCube and I got a copy of Smash Brothers Melee, I couldn't put it down. It was just such an amazing game, and one that took me a very long time to 100%. Which is get all the trophies and everything that go with it. Brawl was my second favorite out of the lot, and I absolutely loved its attempt at doing a single player story mode. It was really fun. Especially the story mode of Brawl, seeing all the characters sort of come together in a game where it's basically like a silent film because no one speaks words in it. Subspace Emissary. That's what
it's fucking batshit too. It makes no sense whatsoever.
Yeah.
They gave it a go, goddammit. You know, they gave it the old college try.
And I still wish that they had a game mode like that in all the others since then, like Smash Bros on the Wii U, Smash Bros Ultimate. None of their sort of story game modes match Subspace Emissary from Brawl, and I really wish they brought it back. But yeah, Smash Brothers. I did my fighting game sort of entry earlier, but to me, this is a whole other different way of doing fighting games because it's not just 1 versus 1.
Yeah.
Or even 2 versus 2 or 3 versus 3. It's freaking, it can be 7 versus 1, which I've done. But yeah,
that was after your GoldenEye run. You're like, right, put fucking Smash Brothers in here. Everybody watching, get in here.
You're all stuck in here with me.
Yeah, you're all stuck in here with me.
But yeah.
Melee made my lists as well. Like my short list. That's the one I remember the most fondly. I still remember going into a Target and seeing Smash Brothers Melee on the display. Like they had the display cabinet set up with the GameCube before the GameCube to be released, and it had Smash Brothers Melee playing, and just standing there like fucking agape at how smooth the animation was, and like just absolutely like, oh my god, this is the future. Look at this. This is incredible.
So slick.
I still remember that moment. Seeing that, it was amazing.
And it's still played by competitive fighting game players nowadays, because out of all of the Smash Brothers ones, the second entry is still the most well balanced amongst all of its characters.
The only reason I didn't end up with Smash Brothers on the list is, for me, it gets, especially the modern ones, they get really chaotic. Like, it's really hard to follow what's actually going on. As soon as you get like 4, 5, 6 fighters on screen, there's like shit popping off everywhere, and I lose myself. And suddenly you're dead, and you're like, what? I didn't even know where I was. Like, I prefer like the clean presentation of Tower of War for that kind of experience. But
totally fair enough. I love the chaotic nature of that.
Yeah.
Only because I'm decent at the game, so I know where my character is.
All right, you can just say, Jimmy, you fucking dog shit. Okay? Yeah, I can live with lines, thanks.
But it does. I still do get that where, like, all of a sudden I've respawned and not
hand
noticed.
It to me now, okay? Don't backpedal, all right? Double down on it, own it, okay?
Okay, Jimmy, you're just shit. All right, you're just shit.
Yeah, I got a lot of good memories of Melee in particular. That one, I played a lot of the original, but Melee, I think, is the one where I really, like you, just sunk into it a lot.
Yeah.
I can't forgive Smash Brothers for taking the attention off real fighting games, and so I have a very complicated relationship with it.
Too approachable.
It's too wacky and fun.
Hey, whoa. You want to talk about wacky and fun? We can talk about things like Clay Fighter, 63 and a third. Or we can talk about BlazBlue, or we can talk about,
BlazBlue is horrendously awful.
Oh, God.
I actually have a copy of BlazBlue, and Jamie bought it for me.
I did, yeah. I thought, Scott will like
I played it. I gave it a good go. It is insanely difficult to do. It's a juggling fighter. You're not meant to touch the freaking ground in that.
No. It depends on which fighter you pick, because every fighter has a different fighting mechanic. Like every fighter is its own fighting game, but they're all anyway.
Anyway.
Yeah. Be more appreciative, Scott.
Jamie, number 2.
Number 2, let's do it.
I still have it though, Jim. It's still on the shelf.
I still
We can
cover
rip it out.
tonight.
There's a Squirrel Girl. Come on, let's go.
I can
Fucking
still
hot as shit.
smell you on it. All right, my number two. We're getting into the big boys now. My number 2 is a crossover. It's already been mentioned, and it has been mentioned in exactly the same fashion as I'm going to mention it, and that is the double whammy.
You motherfuckers.
Yeah,
I
that's right.
swear to fucking God.
That's
the fact that
right.
you can't pick between 2 games when there's a clear winner is dog shit.
They are 2 halves of a whole, my friends.
They are not.
They are 2 halves of a whole.
They are not.
2 sides of the one coin.
Yeah, I really did think, like, I actually went back and
Ridiculous.
forth on this one. Like, which one am I going to put on the list? And it was GoldenEye for a while, and then went to Perfect Dark, and then went back to GoldenEye, went to Perfect Dark, and they're like, fuck it, I'm just putting them both on. I don't care. Whatever. They're both amazing. I've put so many fucking hours into both of these games. I've adored both of them for so long. Started replaying GoldenEye recently on the Nintendo 64 Switch Online. Still loved it. Dominic's calling me for some reason. I don't know why.
To tell you you're wrong.
No, shut up. Hey, Dom,
Answer the phone.
shut up. I don't want to take your shit. You're not here. Yeah, great games.
Disavow.
I'm trying to think, like, if you really pressed me, I like GoldenEye's campaign better. I probably like Perfect Dark's multiplayer better.
This is ridiculous. This
So
is
that's why
insane. What's going on? Anyway,
Cool.
Cool.
Look,
Carry on,
they're
Jamie.
both on there. They're amazing. They're brilliant.
Tell
Whichever
the
one you
audience more
choose.
about how you can't make a decision.
The important point I'm trying to make here is that
Don't listen to Sam.
there is no wrong choice when it comes to these 2 games.
True.
Whichever one you pick, they are amazing. Just because Sam couldn't play Perfect Dark because he didn't have an expansion pack or whatever, you know.
Well, the truth is, by the time
Tell
it
me
came
about-
out in the 64, I moved on to bigger and better things. There are other things out there.
Bigger and
PlayStation.
better things.
Oh,
Wash your fucking mouth out. Oh my God, bigger and better things.
well,
All right.
Lara Croft for one. If you're talking about,
Oh, don't. I'm going to fucking rage vomit. All right, that's my number 2 best couch multiplayer game of all time, GoldenEye / Perfect Dark. They're both on here. They're both amazing. I don't care. I'm cheating. Whatever.
Jesus. My number 2.
Love you,
is
Dom.
Super Mario Brothers.
Oh,
so go
shit.
fuck yourselves.
Wow.
Does that
Name
even count?
one. How does it not count? Explain.
You're
to me
not
how
on the
it doesn't
same
count.
screen at the same time.
You're on the same couch, and you're already
Oh,
showing
hang
your.
on.
But you're just passing the controller.
No, you're not. You
Like,
got your own
if I-
controller. Are you
fucking
kidding?
you're
Do you
sitting
guys?
there.
Sorry, do you guys not understand how Super Mario Brothers 3 works? You have your
Listen.
own controllers.
If you're
Right.
sitting there on the couch playing Super Mario Brothers 3 and I'm sitting next to you having a wank, are we playing on fucking couch multiplayer or not?
Okay, answer me this, dipshits that can't pick between Perfect Dark and GoldenEye. Both of yous, apparently, have got the same brain disease.
So you're
I complete
Your
World War
pick
One.
is hot seating single player game.
No, answer me this.
Get him,
Oh,
Scott,
you
get
guys
him.
are good.
He's hung shit
No,
on
keep
you all
going,
night.
keep going. You're just embarrassing yourselves. It's amazing. I finished World 1 in Grass World, right? And then it's your turn as Luigi, and you go to what world? You go to
Where you're
level
not,
2?
because you're not on the
Right.
same screen. Because it's not co-op.
If I
It's
tap
like
the
couch
A button,
multiplayer.
if I tap the A button when you're going past the level I just cleared, what happens? What happens if I tap the button as you're trying to go past the level I
You're
just cleared?
sounding a bit more erotic there, Sam.
I
It's a
don't
bit
know
creepy.
what happens. Tell us.
It sucks you into a multiplayer PvP match. Do you not remember that part of,
Of
Super
the
Mario Brothers
original
3?
Mario Brothers.
It's part of Mario Brothers 3, and it plays differently, and it actually lets you steal cards from each other. Do you not remember this?
Look, I thought Scott putting Mario Chase on his list was, like, you know, questionable because it's a fragment of a larger game. But you're putting, like, a very... I'm trying to understand your pick here. So your pick for this is your number 2 multiplayer game of all time is hot seating a single player game, except
Okay,
for one
for
instance
one,
where you can
it's
fight
not
against each other
hot
for a little bit.
seating. It's not hot seating because you have your own controllers. For
You're still not playing the same
this
game
is
at the
not
same time.
the top 10 couch
He gets us-
asynchronous
he's got us on a
multiplayer
technicality there.
games, right? This was games you play on the couch and you play with more than one person. And I often, almost entirely played Super Mario Brothers 3 with more than myself. I would play with friends.
Oh.
Right?
All right. Okay. All right. Fair,
No.
look, it's your
Move
list.
on.
It's your
Scott's
list.
turn. No, fuck
list.
you all. I'm sorry. I'm the only motherfucker here that has made a single choice for every single game. And you guys with your, I'm picking genres. Oh, I can't pick between these two games. You're going to give me shit about a literal game that has literal 2-player mode that actually lets you fight each other. And you argue about who gets the Toad House. You argue about, give me that star card because it'll give me 5 lives. You're going to give me shit about that. You guys are fake fans. Now, let's move on.
My number one is sitting on the same couch as Scott, eating a bucket of popcorn while he strokes his nipples.
I know Dom would agree with me. Dom would 100%
That's my number one
agree.
couch multiplayer game. Dom will have you back. If Dom was here, I'd be well outvoted here.
I'm not telling you number one.
Sam, you're going so well. You're doing so well up until here. No, I mean...
I'm the only one that has objectively answered the question for every single fucking number. Right? It was the top 10. It wasn't the top 11, Jamie.
What is now?
It wasn't the top 50, Scott. It was the top 10.
Well, I hardly think your choice just there counts as a 1.
It's not the top 9.
A whole number.
All right, Scott. Bring us back.
Bring us back. Okay, this is
number 2.
This is number 2. This is a bit of an odd choice, but again, because I chose to make every entry... I'm sorry, I'm being heckled. But so I try to make every entry something different, like a different sort of genre of game style.
Yeah, you just pick the genres.
And so my number 2 is quite an odd one, but one I felt is accessible to people who haven't played this sort of game before. It's a hell of a lot of fun, especially when you've got a full complement of players. I think it's 4. And it's a more recent entry. It's my most recent entry, really.
Oh, okay.
And surprisingly, but yeah, it is a shit ton of fun and it's hectic and stressful.
Hang on, you've had some really modern games. Oh, God. Oh, shit. Right. So when we sat down to make this list, this Overcooked is a game I immediately discounted. Right? Because this is just like a fucking stress simulator. This is not fun. Fun doesn't exist in this game. This is
totally
shout
does.
At your friends and have an awful time. Do you like this? Do you really like?
I love
Overcooked. GoldenEye, Scott. Are you kidding me?
As far as fun for me right now.
Oh my God!
Overcooked 2, I have a lot of enjoyment with. I've played it a few times with a full complement of 4 players.
What do you call fun?
And I've actually bought this game twice. Once on PlayStation 4 and once on Switch.
Do you hammer your dick to a table just for a bit of a laugh sometimes? This is crazy.
Yep. It starts out really sort of simple and challenging, and it just gets more and more hectic and crazy and wacky and just weird, and it's just really, really fun. It's satisfying to like
it's popular.
Kick and throw food across the room, have it land on the floor, and then someone cooks it.
I think it's fun to watch other people play. I do like watching other people play Overcooked, right?
Yeah.
But it's so fucking stressful. Like, have you played this, Sam?
I played Plate Up instead of Overcooked.
Okay, same sort of deal. Did you find it enjoyable, or?
It has like a roguelike sort of solo player mode, which is a bit more,
Right.
It mixes
I feel like this game is like specifically created to instigate arguments with people you're playing with, right? Like it's almost built to make you swear at your friends.
See, I've not had that experience.
Good nature, right? At all. Every single game we've all had on our lists, right? So far, except maybe Super Mario Bros. 3, we would have some swearing at our friends in like a bit of good-natured humor, right? Yeah. This is one where it's like fucking legitimate. Like, I'm going to kill you if you don't give me my goddamn tomatoes now.
See, I've never had that experience.
Really? People I hang around with.
Whenever you should stop playing with Gary. I've never had that experience. Everyone sort of worked as a team, so we've all sort of like discussed strategy, and we've talked about how each person sort of has a particular station or task that they occupy.
Yep.
So we actually end up
frustrated.
No, sometimes we do, but it's sort of but not at each other. It's the level.
No, but
it's
does
the game itself.
Would anyone that you've played this game with watch this?
Play with me again?
No, would they watch this channel?
Not, right? No,
they probably don't even know you do it, right? No. Okay, so
somewhat.
With that out of the
do,
way,
but yeah,
you of all the people I know have the biggest gamer rage, right?
Yeah.
Have you ever just fucking unleashed on one of these people that you play with? Playing this game? Never.
No, never.
You're acting as a host.
If your character was Mario, would that change things for you?
Maybe.
Okay.
If it was Mario and it involves swimming,
then you would rage. Okay,
then I'd probably rage. But yeah, I've only ever had fun with it.
I can't believe you put Mario Chase above GoldenEye. I can't fucking believe you put this above GoldenEye. You are.
Hey, Jamie, can I ask you a question? Why do you keep saying, I can't believe you put X above GoldenEye and you never sort of switch to Perfect Dark or
because
GoldenEye?
Everybody
and
who
Dark.
is a fan of the games knows that when you say
GoldenEye is the better game, right?
Yeah, you know, it's just,
it's like you're describing.
No, just curious, just weird.
When you know, it's one of those sort of things.
Just weird.
Just
thought I'd point it out. Weird.
Weird
that GoldenEye is still the one that everyone knows.
One day you'll know. Hey, look. You know, I'm not, just picking the thing that's popular.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not just picking some arbitrary little glitch mode that's in the middle of a Mario Brothers game that's a single player experience.
Oh my god, that's so funny that you think it's a single player experience.
Let's go number one. See, look, this is the environment. We should play Overcooked together.
Yeah,
we make a great Overcooked team. All right, my number one has. I'm going to bring me back into Sam's good graces here because my number one is a crossover with Sam that he's already said. And I think this, for me, is the king of couch multiplayer. I think it's always been the king of couch multiplayer. And I think it's always going to be the king of couch multiplayer. I can't see another game ever being released that dethrones Mario Kart as the best couch multiplayer game of all time. I think it, like this... I've put number 8 on here, but it's Mario Kart as a series.
You're picking the whole IP. So you picked another 8.
No. I'm picking 8. 8 is my pick, but I mean, like Mario Kart's Mario Kart, right? Like if you played one, you've kind of played them all. You're not missing a whole lot by missing an entry here. Like Mario Kart. So when I grew up, right, video games were a real sort of family experience in my house. Okay, and I feel kind of, I think it sucks that atmosphere has kind of been lost now. Video games become like a very segregated experience that you go and play in your bedroom online with people you don't know a lot of the time, right? But Mario Kart 64 in particular, Sam's pick, which was also like I really went backwards and forwards between 8 and 64 here. I've got so like almost all of the really good memories I have from, my family upbringing and all the best memories I have of that time are centered around Mario Kart and around Mario Kart 64 in particular and around the 64. And it wasn't just like me and my brothers hanging out and playing, but it was like me and my mom and my brothers, or me and my dad and my brothers. My mom was a fucking Mario Kart fiend. Nobody could beat my mom. She had Wario on fucking lockdown and it was insane. She's still not half bad. Give credit for the old girl. She does all right now. Her eyes aren't what they used to be, and she doesn't like the motion sickness inducing tracks of 8, but she gives it a pretty good shot. I love 8 because of just the fucking sheer amount of content in this game. Yeah. It is like, especially with the DLC that's just wrapped up, you could play Mario Kart 8 forever. I actually don't know how they're going to follow up Mario Kart 8. Like how
it's been like 10 years, hasn't it?
It's 10 years old. Can you believe Mario Kart 8 is 10 fucking years old? That's unreal. And I don't know what they could possibly do to.
And it's not native to the Switch.
No, it's not. But the Switch did perfect it, I think.
Yeah, absolutely.
I don't understand what they're gonna like. I don't know where they go from here. Like I feel like they could just keep putting Mario Kart 8 on every system and just add some tracks.
I'm waiting for what they did with Smash Brothers and make a Mario Kart Ultimate.
Oh yeah, that'd be the best.
Bring every track back, every character, give everyone the the option of 2 people to a cart, like in Double Dash, and unique. It was fucking awesome, man.
It was fucking stupid, man.
And it was and unique abilities. That more importantly.
Okay. Yeah, yep.
Donkey Kong dropping a massive turd of a banana in the middle of the track, and then when someone inevitably hits it, it springs into 5 little ones.
Yep, that would be cool.
That was awesome.
That's what they were testing the waters on with the DLC. That would be amazing if they went and did something like that. I can't see it happening, but they should. Nintendo, get on it.
They should.
Yeah, Mario Kart, it's the king for me, and it wasn't even close. Like, I love my GoldenEye, my Perfect Dark, and I love my Towerfall, and I love, all the other games I've had on this list, but the gap between Mario Kart and everything else on this list for me is massive. Like, it's my number 1 by a mile. That's my number 1 Mario Kart.
Scott, do you want to go next?
Oh.
You can go next. Sure.
Just asking if you want to go next. I wouldn't mind.
Go on, Scotty. Go on, take it. He's obviously got something up his sleeve.
Uh-huh.
Super Mario Brothers 2.
Well, that's going to be a bit more boring because it's more of the same.
Hey!
Mario Kart is on my list as well. I had
Did you know that, Sam?
No, I didn't. But I clearly made the right choice.
You did.
I had 3 favorite Mario Karts in my life. Mario Kart on the Wii, Mario Kart Double Dash on GameCube.
World Tour.
And Mario Kart 8 Deluxe.
I can't help but notice that World Tour is not on your
World
little
Tour
graphic there.
Oh, no, it's not. You're missing one.
Yeah, you've lost one there.
I don't count shitty mobile games. But Mario Kart is just I agree totally with Jamie that it stands leaps and bounds above everything else. It's unbeatable. It's just absolutely fantastic game series.
And I agree with Sam that Mario Kart 64 perfected the formula. The original Mario Kart was fun. It was something new that we hadn't seen before. But Mario Kart 64 was that was one of the killer video games of video game history, I think.
See, I didn't like 64.
Oh, you're a fucking lunatic.
But I never owned it. I had to borrow it from a friend. But
you know why Mario Kart 64 is because you think
that?
fucking Mario Chase is better than GoldenEye and Perfect Dark.
No. I couldn't. I strongly disliked the rubber banding in Mario Kart 64.
Oh yeah,
inexplicably,
it cheated like crazy.
Inexplicably, you would do no matter how fucking well you did. Inexplicably, all of your opponents would just.
There's always that one bastard, right? It's always that one.
You. Yeah,
it's always right on your ass, no matter what you do to him.
Yep.
Right there.
And they just zoom ahead of you, and then just sort of slightly start to slow down, as if you're gaining on them. And I hated that so much. It just I don't like Mario Kart 64. I play it, but it's definitely lower on my list of my favorite Mario Karts. But I do appreciate the significance it is for others. But I never grew up with a copy of it. If I actually did,
that probably
it would have been different. I borrowed a friend's for a while and played as much as I could before I had to give it back to him.
It was one of those games that you just kind of it became ingrained into your life if you played it that period of time. It almost if you didn't know what to play, it was Mario Kart. It was never. I don't know how to describe it. Sam, obviously, it was just part of the era.
It was one of the first big 3D. Well, it was the first karting game, right? You had Super Mario Kart, which, let's be real, it's a bit scuffed, right?
Oh, it is totally.
Mario Kart 64 was holy shit! You're going through Donkey Kong's land, you're going through Princess Peach's castle, you're going through the Koopa Beach. The environments were great to just roam around in.
Honestly, getting smacked with coconuts off the road.
And back then it was wow, look at this. And even though all the little tricks that they did, even the carts being not fully 3D.
I can hear him.
Can the channel?
That should be if I can hear him. Okay. Now I've lost Jamie.
Hello,
Jam.
Am I back?
There we go. Yep.
Hey, there we go. My internet is not a happy chappy tonight. By the looks of things.
We'll get it in post.
Good pick, Scotty. Nice.
All right.
Mm-hmm.
All right, Sam. Finish us off here. What do you got here?
Number one. You motherfuckers.
The
Obviously. Obviously.
Look, I can't fault you, man. I
Right.
can't
Thesis, right?
Here
The
we go.
reason why GoldenEye is better than Perfect Dark.
because you didn't have an expansion pack. We already established.
Man with the golden gun mode.
Yeah.
Slappers only. License to
No.
kill. No, you can't use Odd Job. That's cheating. Proximity mines. Like,
Yeah.
for fuck's sake. Like, holy shit. And you're James Bond, and your people are sitting there going, dun, 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 and all the dumb shit that comes with the license. I think that it is just objectively the most fun. Like, if you can't have 4 Odd Jobs at one corner of the room each, charging each other to joust with license to kill slappers only, then you're not playing a fucking game that deserves to be on top spot of top 10 couch multiplayer games.
I can't argue with you, man. I cannot argue with you. Like, yeah.
Like
I agree.
Perfect Dark, like you might be able to make a technical argument because of like obviously yes there are improvements in the mechanics, there are improvements like the
I think
they had the missile right that you could aim and target. They had the laptop gun, but
yeah, I think that's
GoldenEye
what-
had the popularity.
Yes, it did. And I think that's what Perfect Dark had going for it was its sort of unique ingenuity when it came to weapon designs and things. Like there was, like the Cyclone that would you just empty an entire fucking clip with one press of the trigger. And go through the gun. And yeah, like the sniper rifle that could see through walls. And yes, the laptop gun.
The most fun I thought when I was playing GoldenEye was the simplicity. The PP7 golden gun, license to kill, slappers only. I think that was more fun
I
than
think
camp
you're
spawning
right.
people with laptop guns or proximity mines in GoldenEye Dark.
I think
fucking
I think
Perfect Dark.
Perfect Dark multiplayer was more about the tricks you could pull off with the tools at your disposal, whereas GoldenEye was very much more skill based. I think, like,
Or
if you
even
were-
just the dumb shit.
you could,
that
you could,
used
it's
to do.
like Perfect Dark was almost a little bit Smash Brothers-y, a little bit, right? If you liked that kind of chaos of like, hey, I could just run through this doorway and get annihilated by a laptop gun that I can't see, which I do, then you're gonna love it. And if you don't mind a bit of chug, a bit of slideshow on your
or blur motion.
I can't hear you, Scott. I don't know why. But yeah, I do agree with you, Sammy. Like, if you were good at GoldenEye, you were good at GoldenEye. You know what I mean?
I felt like I'm not sure why, but I never felt that there was a huge insurmountable skill gap between the best player that I was playing around and the rest of us plebs. Like we could always
Really?
get kills. Like there was always someone that was going to win the match, but you could always kill him. You could always get him at least once or twice.
Wow,
and that's
that was
your victory,
not my
right?
experience, and I don't think
You
it
were
was
playing
Scott
with the
either.
Wentz, to be fair.
Hey, they got pretty good, man, in paintball.
That's what I'm
mode.
saying. Like they're sweaty little gamers. So
Yeah.
you might as well-
But what I mean was like again, I'm going to pull a bit of a Scott here. That was me because I just played it so much, right? Like I could play 3 players versus me, and I'll only use one hand, and I'll win because I've just played it, and I got really, really good at it. But in Perfect Dark, that wasn't necessarily the case. Like the skill set is exactly the same. It's the same engine, it's the same game, but the wackiness of the weapon loadouts kind of leveled the playing field significantly more, I think, than GoldenEye, which isn't
You must have had
good
some
or bad.
scuffed gamers to go against it.
maybe, yeah. I don't know.
But like, see, the other thing was like the fun little things that we used to do, like with GoldenEye. So, for example, would have someone that would hide in the map and just face that fucking
Yes.
dipshit texture wall that gave you almost no clues. And you go,
Hide and seek?
Where are they? And you just try and find them. And
Yeah, hide and seek was really good.
the fact that it even had emergent sort of gameplay like that, like again, like talking about the jousting with Slapper's License to Kill, that's an emergent way to play the
Yes.
game. That the game doesn't say, okay, here's the mode
Yep.
where you joust. It's like, no, we designed a jousting way to play. And
Yeah.
it's just such a good game.
I do like that as well, a lot as well. And I think like the bots gave you those sorts of experiences in Perfect Dark. Was what combinations of bots are we going to
Stop trying to bring Perfect Dark into this, Jamie. This is mine.
No, I'm just saying, like,
Number
I'm
one,
agreeing
and
with
it's
you.
GoldenEye.
I agree. I agree. I agree. I like them both
Usurper.
equally, but I agree.
Anyway,
it.
GoldenEye better than Perfect Dark. More cultural, as Dom has pointed out. It's more culturally relevant. It had more saturation at the time.
Yep. And because it was, from my understanding, again, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think it was the first-person shooter on a console.
Yes.
Am I right in that?
It was.
I think it was number one. It did it first.
Yep.
So I think that's why, like, Perfect Dark was never going to fill its boots. You know, Perfect Dark, the only people that Perfect Dark appealed to were GoldenEye fans, and GoldenEye kind of appealed to a whole host of people because it was the first to do what it did. And I think that's why it's got such a cultural significance, because it's like, well, I've never played this before. I've never played 4-player multiplayer anything before. I've never sat on this couch playing with my buddies like this before. I've never played a first-person shooter on a console before. It was so many firsts with GoldenEye. And to boot, it was a really fucking good game. You know, it wasn't just the first, it was also the best, which is very rare that happens.
It's very rare.
We better go out there because we're never going to beat that.
But,
anyone got anything else? I don't know why I can't hear you, Scott. Hopefully the stream can, but I've got no idea.
I can hear both of you, so I don't know
All
what's
right,
going
cool.
on.
Yeah, right. So
But it should be fine on the stream.
just be fine to mouth off at me, Scotty, and I'll have no retorts
I will.
whatsoever.
Jamie said that he thinks you're a poo-poo head. Oh, wait, no, Jamie can hear me. Never mind.
Oh shit! Yeah. I think that's it, fellas. I think we're done. Top 10. Under like we got
First
it.
in
We did it
2024.
under wraps. Finished. What do you want to close us out, Sammy? Do you want me to close us out? What do
You
want
can
to do?
close us out.
All right.
I'm pooped
You're
from
fucking
having
done.
to deal with all
You're-
this Perfect Dark shit.
Shit off with the Super Mario Brothers thing.
Oh,
If you're still
fucking
hanging
hell.
out with
Oh,
us-
my God. Leave a comment. Like, mock these two idiots
Do it.
for
Leave a
pushing
comment.
back against Super Mario Brothers 3 being a multiplayer game.
Leave a
Holy
comment.
shit.
Let me know why. Let me
Obscene.
convince me in the comments why Super Mario Brothers 3 is the second best couch multiplayer game of all time. Is that what you
Oh,
said?
yeah. Don't convince him.
best couch
There's no point
multiplayer
trying to
game.
convince someone that's already that far gone. Just leave
Better.
your condolences.
Better than Mario Kart.
Absolutely.
Why that's true.
100%.
I would love to read it. If you're still here, thanks so much. Thanks, Dom. I know you're still here. Thanks, bud. Give me shit. Thanks
Play
so much
to
for
a
hanging
full
out.
room.
Yeah, that's it. If you liked what we did, we would love it if you would just drop down below and click on the little likey button. You can click on the little subscribe button if you want to see more of us talking about our favorite games on various topics. If you want to see more of us talking about retro stuff, playing retro stuff, all that sort of goodness. And you can hit the little bell if you want to get notified when things go up. I think that's what people say on the end of these things, isn't it? Something to that effect. Have I missed anything? I'm not a very good YouTuber, streamer
good.
person, so I don't know. Cool. We're going to get out of here. Thanks so much for watching. We'll see you all next time. And until then, make sure you keep on side-scrolling, and we'll see you when we're looking at you. Take it easy.
I forgot which button is the... Yes, they can, and Super Mario Bros. 3 counts.
Super Mario sucks. Oh, I can hear you now, Scott. I don't know why I couldn't.
Oh.
Before. Suddenly now I can hear you.
Oh, well.
I'm assuming
Better
that's
late
something
than
with...
never.